Hello, YouTube family. Thank you for watching another one of our videos and everything. We hope you guys are doing great. The weekend is here. Right now is Sunday evening over here in the Philippines where I'm currently living. And stateside, it should be Sunday morning if I'm correct. I get all these different time zones screwed up here in between communicating with people from different parts of the world and everything. But it's pretty cool. But still, and yet it's confusing. I send messages out a little bit too early, where people tell me, "Hey, James, I'm still sleeping. What in the world?" And you know, I have to apologize to them all the time. But first, the next thing I like to do is salute to my military personnel. As always, much respect to you. I hope you guys are doing well, family members or friends or whoever they may be, and everything. So, what I wanted to talk about today was over here in Zamboanga del Sur, Mindanao region. I don't know what the hell kind of festival they got going on, but it all started off today. It kicked off, actually, yesterday it kicked off, where you got music, you got up the hill going up here. There was a wild disco going on the basketball court. I mean, music that was at a decibel level that was well over 100. So you had no chance of sleeping. And this festival went over into over 3 o'clock this morning Filipino time. I just happened to go there to support Arsley's family. They were there enjoying themselves. So I wanted to kick in and just chill out and hang with them, and then meet some other good people who were there. And as usual, you're gonna get certain people who are gonna drink a little bit too much damn alcohol. I'm talking about anything from tender wine to Red Horse beer to rum. They had it going to tequila. They just had all kinds of stuff. So for those of you who are familiar with the festivals here in the Philippines, you know what they're throwing down. And I'm not talking about no lightweight stuff. I'm talking about hardcore liquor. I do not indulge. I had to repeat myself by saying no several times. No, thank you. They still try to force it on you, but you just have to be real nice and cordial and say, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't drink. I have no taste for it. You just have to be simple, cut dry, and honest about it the whole complete time. And you're gonna be asked this several times throughout the whole event. So you just have to say no. Now there's some cases where you get a little bit overwhelming, and they try to force it on you. Put their hand on your shoulder, and that's when you just politely say, hey, you know what? Don't stand up, because this is sort of intimidating type of thing. Just sit down, put your hand on top of theirs, and say, "Kuya," which means brother. No, thank you. I'm not interested. Thank you very much. So I'm always using this gesture, hand over the heart. If you ever flown Cebu Pacific Airlines, they'll put their hand over their heart and they say Mabuhay. I use it as a sign or to show respect. Sometimes you get the eye gesture, but I find it's quickest for me, whether it's a man or woman or whoever. You know, I'll just a smile, put my hand over my heart, and that just lets them. It's a greeting, is what it is. It's a real polite and soft greeting. So that's how I take care of it. If their hands on my shoulder, I touch it and I look them in the eyes and I'm like, no, thank you. I don't drink. If they're persistent about it, and you just have to keep telling them 2 times, I do not drink. And normally that kicks in where they do understand it. But you are gonna get persistent in some cases. Last night there were at least 3 or 4 outbreaks. with fights. One involved a woman. Uh, she finally got broke up from the fight. Now I don't know what happened. If there was jealousy because he was flirting with another woman, or he was manhandling her, or what the situation was. But all I know is the barangay within that city that act as security. They came in, they broke it up. The lady came out, her hair was messed up. She had shoes, one pair of shoes in her hand, and the other one still on her foot. The guy, his friends were holding him back. I don't know what the hell happened. So that broke out, and then you seen the gentleman from the barangay. One of them had a big bolo in his hand. Now I don't know if his intentions was to use it or if it was for intimidation. I personally think it was for intimidation. This blade was well over 12 inches long. So I don't. I mean, when I seen, I was like, "Oh hell, here we go. Somebody's about to be put down." But honestly, I think it was for intimidation purposes. Then there was another fight that broke out. A kid we knew, a teenager, he was hit in the neck. You know, his mother was pissed. Thank God his father wasn't there. What can you do about that? And this fly is getting on my nerves. What can you do about that? You can file a complaint, which they call a blotter. You can file a blotter on the person who did it. They know who did it. Hopefully they took care of it. And we didn't have any, me and my wife didn't have anything to do with it. It's like, that's their business. And we didn't see anything. You don't want to be involved with all that, especially being a foreigner. You got to stay polite, cordial, kind, stay out of the way. Simple as that. So then there was another fight, of course, broke out. And by this time, I'm ready to go. I got my hat down low. And I'm just peeking around, just watching, see what the hell was going on here. But luckily, it was close to the event being over. And then her family, they packed up their stuff. And then we left. So when you're around something like that, clear. You got to clear out. Have your back to the wall in case anything pops off, and be ready to roll. Honestly, it should have been the first thing that popped off. I should have left, but the problem was there was no other exit out of the place. Exactly the walking pattern, which was to my right, is exactly where I needed to be to get out of there. So I waited till that situation calmed down, and then they started winding down, packing everything, and then and then something else jumped off, and then once again, it's like, okay, it's time to go. There's no need to stick around. This is the whole problem here in the Philippines or elsewhere when they travel abroad as an expat. People stay and they're into just being damn nosy. You can't do that. If something goes on, leave. That's your best bet. Here's a interesting area I used to go to all the time called Siargao and General Luna area. There's a lot of problems going on with foreigners over there, partying hard, drinking, messing with other people's women, or vice versa, and they just don't know when to quit. They just don't know when to quit. And then what happens? Fights break out. Police get involved. Somebody gets hurt. You go back home, or you go to the embassy, for example, your passport is stolen or is lost. You lost all your money. You don't have a way to get out of there. So now you got to contact the embassy. And then what they do is in return is they try to contact family members to try to get you out of there. If they can't contact anybody, and then they'll pay for your ticket to leave. Well, guess what? You go back home and go to work, you have to pay the embassy back. That ticket is not for free. Believe me, I know somebody who experienced that before. So back to this party and all this rigmarole going on. We finally left and got the hell out of there. So now what's happening is there's a festival which will continue tomorrow. Kicking off at what time, I have no idea. Um, I will be staying home, me and my wife, to make sure that everything's okay here, and make sure nobody's trespassing on our property, and doing things they're not supposed to do. So um, we have the respect from folks, but still and yet you still have to show your presence there as well. So this festival, I don't know how long it's gonna last. Um, I tell you what, I'd rather deal with the damn chickens and the dogs and the kids playing instead of this festival. Last year we experienced it. Um, Horrible. But that's their celebration here. Only thing we ask is if you can celebrate and music all you wish, just stay on your side of the line and have fun, and don't get rowdy. If you get rowdy, I'm calling. We both gonna call. Somebody's going to jail. That's for damn sure. We're not gonna tolerate it. But at any rate, so my wife, she's at a festival right now, enjoying herself. We went just last week. She rode an ATV for the first time in her life, which was pretty cool. I get on there driving all slow because I haven't driven one in almost pretty much 10, 11 years. So, but it was still cool. It was only 100 pesos or 200 pesos for both of us to drive the thing, and it was pretty awesome. So we're looking forward to doing some more exciting things together at this festival. Right now, she's there with her family member so they can enjoy themselves. All right, appreciate you. I'm going to include a couple of photos and video clip of some of the things that we were doing yesterday. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Salute.